The Detroit Pistons have been eliminated in the second round of the playoffs, falling short to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So in today's video, we're going to rebuild the Pistons in hopes of winning them a championship. And after watching the Pistons play in the playoffs, Cade Cunningham needs some serious help. He's been the only one trying to carry this team all the way to the conference finals. Jalen Duren, on the other hand, has forgot how to play basketball. He went from averaging 20 points per game, a 20-point double-double, all the way down to 10 points, and his field goal percentage fell off a cliff as well. Tobias Harris was good, averaging 18 points per game, but his efficiency wasn't really the best. Expect some big trades this coming off season. We definitely need to get Cade Cunningham the help that he deserves. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and simulate past the playoffs and see which team goes on to win the championship. In the NBA Finals, Victor Wembanyama wins Western Conference Finals MVP, James Harden Eastern Conference Finals MVP, which means we have the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Spurs go on to win with Victor Wembanyama winning Finals MVP. Before I continue in this off season, if you're new to this channel, I do upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to like the video and hype the video. All three buttons are absolutely free and help out the channel a ton. In the 2026 NBA draft, it looks like we do end up with a 21st overall pick, so we are going to be able to draft ourselves a young rookie player. And for staff signings, I will be keeping our head coach JB Bickerstaff around. I do think he has a lot of potential with this team of ours. So now let's go to the NBA draft and see which player we're going to be selecting. First overall pick the Washington Wizards have, and they take Cameron Boozer. The Utah Jazz with the second overall pick take Darren Peterson. And the Grizzlies take AJ DeBonsa. Now let's go ahead and sim to our pick and see which player we could get here. We do have 27 offers. Let me check these out and see if there's any worth. Majority of those trade offers were awful, so we're going to be using our own pick and drafting ourselves a good young rookie. We do need someone that could hit that three ball, and Braden Burries is a really good three-point shooter. Out of all of these players, he's the only one with an A or an A- three-point shot. Everybody else here is a C, like Bennett Sturtz is a C, this dude's a C+, C+. Every single player you see here is not a good three-point shooter, except for our boy Braden Burries. So with our pick, we're going to be taking Braden Burries. He's 18 years old, and hopefully we can end up developing him into a good player. Our rookie is only a 72 overall, but hopefully he ends up progressing in the next few off seasons so we can make him a part of our rotation. Team player options, of course, we are going to pick up the team option for Asar Thompson, Dennis Jenkins, and Ron Holland. I honestly think I'm going to pick up the $16 million team option for Duncan Robinson as well, and hear me out, and the same for Marcus Sasser. We could use their contracts, throw in some picks, and maybe go acquire ourselves a really good player. So that's the reason we're going to pick up their salaries. Gives us more money to play with in trades. And now, is there anyone we need to re-sign? Jalen Duren is a big free agency signing we're going to have to do. Alright, so we do have some money here to spend in free agency, but I'm going to try and save some money, and that's because in next year's free agency, we have way better names that are going to be free agents. But what I'm planning on doing right now is, of course, re-signing Jalen Duren. He wants about $18 million. We'll give him a 5-year contract, team option on that 5th year. I do also want Norman Powell, but before that, I am going to have to trade away a player or two, free up some salary so we are able to offer him that money. I'm not sure if this will free up enough salary for us to get Norman Powell, $5.6 million. We don't need 2 first rounders, but I will take 1. And now let's see if we'll have the money for Norman Powell. In order for us to sign Norman Powell, we're going to have to free up about $5 more million. So what I am going to do is get rid of Marcus Sasser. Let's see if there's any teams here that are willing to offer us first round picks. The Memphis Grizzlies once again. Okay. And now we should have enough money to sign Norman Powell on a $12.5 million contract. I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 1-year deal. He's basically just a rental until next year, where there's going to be a lot better options for bringing in good role players. I was hoping to re-sign Tobias Harris as well, but sadly it looks like he has joined another team. But I will bring back Malik Beasley, Detroit Piston legend. Bro hit so many three-pointers in that one season. We're going to go ahead and extend him for the next 2 years, paying him a minimum. Well, not extend him, we're going to give him that contract, which he will go on to accept, 2 years, $4.8 million. It is now time to start pulling off some trades, and if there's a position we desperately need to upgrade, that is definitely the starting power forward position. I did sign Precious Achiuwa, but he's definitely not going to be starting for us, so let me see what we can get back and bring in for that position. We are talking with the Charlotte Hornets about their young player Tidjane Salaam. They don't give him many minutes over there in Charlotte, but we definitely can. He's a really good three-point shooter, already a good defensive player, he can rebound, and I believe he's only going to continue getting better. He's 20 years old, so he will continue progressing. Let's see what the Hornets say if we offer them Karis LeVert and Precious Achiuwa for Tidjane Salaam. They do decline. I will throw in a bunch of second round picks. I don't know if I want to give up a first rounder, but I would give it up if we have to, because I'm pretty sure that Tidjane Salaam ends up progressing a ton in 2K simulation. So what if we give you a lottery protected first rounder? Okay, so that gets it done. All we had to give them was a lottery protected first round pick. Let's go. We are here at player progression day. It does look like Norman Powell did go down 2 overall, but that's okay. That was expected. He's 33 years old. I still believe he could provide us with a lot of value as that starting shooting guard. Other young players, Ron Holland jumps up 2 overall. Tidjane Salaam is the highest progression here, jumping up 4 overall, making him a 79. I hope this is how he's going to continue to progress throughout the entirety of this video. And now here we are at the start of this season with a brand new 9-man rotation. In our starting lineup, we currently have ourselves Cade Cunningham, Norman Powell, Ausar Thompson, Tidjane Salaam, and Jalen Duren. And then off the bench, we have Duncan Robinson, Dennis Jenkins, Ron Holland, and Isaiah Stewart. I am pretty excited about this team. Let's see how they do here in the first week of this season. The first game is up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who we go on to defeat 136-129. Cade Cunningham with a 33-point double-double. Norman Powell in his Pistons debut dropping 21 points, 19 and 12 from Duren, 18 from our brand new starting power forward Tidjane Salaam. Can we also defeat the Rockets? Let's see, and no we cannot. We do end up losing here by 6 points. Let's also simulate the next 2 games, which we do go on to win. We defeated the Charlotte Hornets here with Cade Cunningham, 25-point triple-double, 23 from Powell, and 22 from Thompson. Against the Wizards, Cade had himself 37, 13, 33 from Powell, and a 20-point double-double from Tidjane Salaam. And that's a pretty good sign of what's to come from this team going forward. But now let's take a look at our system proficiency. It looks like we will be rolling with a 3.5-star overall system proficiency defense under JB Bickerstaff. I am now going to start simulating here until the end of this season, but if there are any trades to be made, I will be stopping at the trade deadline to show you all. It looks like our team has made it to the NBA Cup Finals, and we're taking on the San Antonio Spurs. So let's jump into Simcast here and see if we can win the NBA Cup. The Spurs do have home court advantage on their side, and so far we do have the lead, but can we keep it? And it looks like we do fall short here to the Spurs, 112-96, with Victor Wembanyama winning NBA Cup MVP. We are stopped here at the trade deadline, and honestly I don't really think pulling off a trade would be the right move to do, and that's because we are the number 1 seed with 38 wins and 15 losses. Like, let's go ahead and take a look at the player stats and see how everyone has been doing. Cade Cunningham is amazing, almost 29 points per game with 11 assists per game. 18.5 from Norman Powell. He's been really good as that number 2 scoring option, which is exactly what we needed. 16.5 from Duren, 14 from Tidjane Salaam. He's been phenomenal at that starting power forward position, shooting 37% from the 3-point line. Ausar Thompson's doing his thing, so is Duncan Robinson, so let's roll out into the offseason, well, into the playoffs with this team. In the award races, we do have Cade Cunningham here, right behind Victor Wembanyama. We have 1 game remaining left to our season. Let's see which one out of the 2 will go on to win an MVP. It looks like it will be going to Victor Wembanyama. That does suck, but I mean, hopefully we're able to win Cade an MVP at least once in this video. So Wemby goes on to win MVP. Jaden wins Rookie of the Year. Jalen Green 6th man. Victor Wembanyama also winning Defensive Player. Reese Shea Most Improved. Paulo Banchero wins Clutch Player. Chris Finch Coach of the Year. And the Timberwolves also win Executive. But we should get ourselves our boy on an all-NBA team, and yes we do. So Cade Cunningham makes it on an all-NBA first team. Will we have any more awards? Let's see here. No more all-NBA awards. Do we get anyone here? We do get Ausar Thompson on all defensive first team. That is what I'm talking about. It looks like that will be it for awards. And we ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 60 games and losing only 22. But the funny part is, the Pistons have the same exact record for the 25-26 season, but again, as we all know, they got eliminated in the playoffs. So hopefully that does not happen for the 2nd year in a row. Let's take a look at our player stats before we start simulating the playoffs here. Our leading scorer was none other than Cade Cunningham, averaging 28.5 points, 6 rebounds, 10.5 assists. 18 from Norman Powell, 16.5 from Jalen Duren, 14 from Thompson, 13 from Tijon Salon, and 10 from Duncan Robinson. And now it is time for the playoffs, and in the first round, we are taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. They have themselves Ryan Rollins, Kobe White, Kyle Kuzma, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Bobby Portis Jr. Honestly, not a bad starting five whatsoever, especially since Ryan Rollins has been progressing amazing. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Cade Cunningham 24, 19 from Powell, and 18 from Duncan Robinson in 20 minutes. Game number 2, we do end up winning here. Cade Cunningham with 35 points and 15 assists, 24 from Thompson, 21 from Robinson. Ausar Thompson has been showing a lot of potential, especially since the season he was averaging 14 points per game, and now in the playoffs he's averaging 16 points per game, so that's something we're definitely going to keep an eye on. Game number 3, we do also go on to win. Cade Cunningham dropping 43 points, 15 from Powell, 15 from Salon, and 15 from Duncan Robinson. And are we going to sweep the Milwaukee Bucks? Yes, we are. Cade Cunningham had himself a 28-point double-double, 18 from Thompson, and 16-point double-double from Duren. We have made it to the second round of the playoffs. We're either going to have to take on the Orlando Magic or the Indiana Pacers, and it will be the 5th-seeded Indiana Pacers. In their starting lineup, they have themselves Andrew Nembhard, Tyrese Haliburton, Jarris Walker, Pascal Siakam, and Avia Zubac. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Cunningham was 1 assist shy of a triple-double, 19 from Thompson, and an 18-point double-double from Duren. Can we also go on to win game 2? And yes, we can. 33 points and 18 assists from Cunningham, 31 and 20 from Duren. Norman Powell has been doing his thing as well. He is kind of struggling from the three-point line, but hopefully he starts hitting his three-pointers. Okay, so now we're up 2-0. Let's see if we can make this 3-0. Game number 3, we also go on to win. Cade Cunningham dropping 32 points, 22 and 12 from Duren, 20 from Salon, and 14 from Duncan Robinson. And we go on to sweep the Indiana Pacers here in Game 4, winning 124 to 122. Cade Cunningham had himself 35 points and 11 assists, 21 from Powell, and 19 from Robinson. And honestly, I'm really glad we picked up the team option for Duncan Robinson because bro has been balling out. He's averaging 14 points per game on 50-40 shooting splits in only 21 minutes per game. So he's been doing his thing, balling out for us here in the playoffs. And now we have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals where we have to take on the New York Knicks. They still have themselves the same starting lineup: Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns. This is definitely going to be our toughest challenge yet. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning 125 to 110. Cade Cunningham with 33, 7 and 11, 27 and 11 from Duren, 24 from Robinson. Again, bro has been playing phenomenal. Can we go on to win game 2? No, we can't. They do end up defeating us here by 3 points. Cade played amazing, so did Duren, but sadly we do fall short. Game number 3, we do go on to get the win though, winning this game 135 to 117, and Thompson was our leading scorer with a 25-point double-double, 25 double-double from Duren, 24 double-double from Cunningham. I do hope we win this next game, putting us up 3-1. That would be absolutely huge, and that is exactly what we do. Cade Cunningham dropping 35 points, 12 and 13 from Duren, and we win game 4 by 2 points. And are we going to close things out here in game 5? Yes, we do. Anthony Edwards goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP for the Timberwolves. Cade Cunningham, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging 28, 5 and 10. And that means we are taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves here in the NBA Finals, and they have themselves Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert. And off the bench, they have Ayo Dosunmu, Colin Gillespie, and Naz Reid. So they have themselves a really stacked bench. They were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. And now let's start the NBA Finals and see if we can defeat the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Cade Cunningham dropping 34 points with 13 assists, 21 from Duren, 17 from Powell, and 17 from Stewart. We won this game by 3 points. Game number 2 does end up going to the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards did drop 29, and the same with Reid. Cade had 26, 20 from Robinson, but sadly we do fall short. The series is tied at 1-1 apiece. Let's see if we can go on to win game 3, and it looks like we also go on to lose game 3, 126 to 97. Cade played amazing, but sadly there wasn't much help from the rest of our team. Game number 4, we also going to lose, and now we are down 3-1. Cade played amazing, but still, once again, we fall short. And now we're down 3-1. It's definitely going to be hard for us to come back, but it is definitely possible. I've done it many times before, but hopefully this will be one of those times. And it is not. We do end up falling short here to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they go on to win the championship with Anthony Edwards winning Finals MVP. But don't you guys worry, this offseason, I'm going to make sure to sign some big free agents, pull off some big trades, and hopefully turn us into championship contenders by next year. Here are the player stats for the playoffs in case you guys were wondering. Cade Cunningham was phenomenal, 31, 6, and 10. We do have ourselves some picks in the 2027 NBA draft. I'm going to go ahead and draft the highest overall players. That way we could probably trade them away if they have a good trade value. I am going to try and pull off a massive trade this offseason, so as many assets as we can possibly get will help. Let's go to the NBA draft and see what we're going to be doing here. And I completely just forgot about staff signing, but honestly, I want to keep JB Bickerstaff anyway, so I wouldn't have been firing him regardless. So yeah, let's go to the NBA draft and see what we're going to be doing here. The first overall pick the Memphis Grizzlies have, and they take Tyrone Stokes. The Washington Wizards with the second overall pick take Christian Collins. The third overall pick, Miami Heat take Cameron Williams. And now let's sim to our pick, and I'm just going to go ahead and start drafting the highest overall player. This dude has a starter, no Hall of Famers left, so I'm going to go ahead and take Dalen Swain. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He's a small forward. And then we'll do the same for the next few picks, and I'll show you guys all the players that I've come up with. Our second round picks, we are going to be trading to the Charlotte Hornets. We're basically just swapping second round picks for second round picks. So there you go, Charlotte can go ahead and draft whatever player they want. Now comes a pretty tough decision. Do we pick up these team options and use their salaries or trade them away, or do we let them walk and have more money in free agency? I'm definitely going to let Duncan Robinson walk. I am going to keep Ron Holland because he does have a trade value if we want to trade him away, and I also want to keep Tijon Salon. So Isaiah Stewart and Duncan Robinson we're not going to be bringing back, and the same for Chaz Lanier. Qualifying offers, we do need to re-sign Asar Thompson here in free agency, and that's basically going to be our only priority, and we have enough money to sign ourselves a Victor Wembanyama. I'm going to see what players here would make most sense. I would love to bring back Asar Thompson, but how much money does he want? He wants about $22 million. If we give Asar Thompson $22 million, we will still have about $30 million more we could spend in free agency, which is huge. First things first, we are going to be re-signing Asar Thompson. He is our priority right now, and this does leave us with a little bit less money to play with in free agency, but that's okay because we still have about $29 million even after signing Asar Thompson that we could spend. Now I want to see where we should spend that $29 million, so let me look around the league and see what would make most sense. Norman Powell is gone, and that means we need ourselves a new starting shooting guard. And hear me out here. Jalen Green could definitely be the perfect second option on this team behind Cade Cunningham. He was averaging 21 points per game in this last season on 50, 40, 74 shooting splits. So I'm going to try and bring in Jalen Green here. We're going to offer him a 4-year deal, team option on that 4th year, paying him about $25 million annually. Will he accept? And it looks like he will. So we get ourselves Jalen Green and Asar Thompson on a long contract. 4-year, $90 million for Asar Thompson, 3-year, $78 for Jalen Green. And let's just make sure we sign both of them. And yes, we do. We are in need of a backup center, so I'm going to go ahead and offer Musa a contract here. I'm going to offer him as much money as we could possibly offer him, and that's because I'm probably going to be trading him away this offseason. I do want to pull off a big trade this offseason, which is why I'm giving him all that money. It looks like he will be accepting on a 4-year, $38 million contract. And now we also need ourselves a backup point guard, so I'm going to go ahead and give Fred VanVleet a contract. Is there anyone else I would like here? Maybe Scottie Pippen Jr., but I've realized a lot of times Scottie Pippen Jr. does not play well in 2K Simulation. So we're going to go ahead and offer Chris Dunn a 1-year contract as well. Chris Dunn accepts, and so does Fred VanVleet. If we change Ron Holland's position from power forward to small forward, he jumps up to an 82 overall. And now I'm going to try and cook up some trades here. I'll show you guys once I come up with them decisions. We are talking with the Houston Rockets about their power forward, Jabari Smith Jr. I feel like if we bring him on our team, he could be our starter, and then we push Tijon Salon to the backup power forward role as our sixth man. So I'm going to be offering the Houston Rockets Ron Holland, Braden Burries, and Daniel Jacobson for Jabari Smith Jr. They do decline, but I will throw in a first round pick, and that gets the trade done. We get ourselves Jabari Smith Jr. And now I can tell you guys that was my elaborate plan to try and make this trade happen with the Boston Celtics, where we send them Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., and Chris Dunn for Jaylen Brown. I think having Jaylen Brown here beside Cade Cunningham would be absolutely amazing. We would most definitely have the best backcourt in the NBA. Let's see what the Celtics say for this trade. They do decline, but now I'm going to start throwing in some first round picks. One first round pick does not get it done. 2 first round picks does not get it done. What about 3 first round picks? And sadly, it looks like we're not getting Jaylen Brown. But at least at player progression day, we see a lot of green arrows. We do have a really young team, so it is expected for them to be getting better, and that's exactly what is happening. Tijon Salon is now up to an 82 overall, 85 for Jabari, 87 from Jalen Green. I did try and trade for basically every superstar you guys can think of, but no team was wanting to play ball, so we are going to roll into this season with our core. But of course, we could always make some trades by the trade deadline if we need to. Here we are at the start of this season, and honestly our team is actually looking really good. I definitely think we can go out there and win ourselves a championship. In our starting lineup, we're going to have ourselves Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Ausar Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., and Jalen Duren. And then off the bench, we have Tijon Salon, Moussa Diabate, Fred VanVleet, and Cam Johnson. And now let's go ahead and simulate the first few games of this season. The first game is up against the Denver Nuggets, but we go on to lose by a lot, 144 to 126. Jalen Green had 25, 22 and 16 from Cade, but we do fall short. Can we defeat the Chicago Bulls? And yes, we can. We go on to win here, 124 to 117. Jalen Green had 29, Cunningham with the double-double, 21 from Salon, and a double-double from Jalen Duren. Let's see if we can also defeat the Orlando Magic, and yes, we can. We outscored them by 20 points. Jalen Green 35. So far, bro has been balling out as the second scoring option, averaging 30 points per game. Cade Cunningham 25 and 11, 19 and 13 from Duren. This season, our team will be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under JB Bickerstaff. We were running it with it on defense last year, but I did go ahead and change it to balance since the stars are higher, and I do feel like we will do a lot better on balanced over defense. So now I'm going to start simulating here until the end of this season, but if I do feel like we need to make any trades, I will be stopping at the trade deadline and I'll show you all. And at the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama wins a back-to-back MVP, Kingston Flemings wins Rookie of the Year, Ja Morant 6-man. Whoa, the Utah Jazz have Ja Morant as their 6-man. That is insane. Victor Wembanyama also wins a back-to-back Defensive Player, Cam Boozer Most Improved. Nikola Jokic wins Clutch Player, JB Bickerstaff, our head coach, wins Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive. Let's take a look at all NBA selections here, and where is our boy? Okay, there he is. Cade Cunningham makes it on all NBA second team. Will that be it for awards? And did I just miss Jalen Green, or did he not make it here? Because bro was balling out, but it looks like he does not make an all NBA team. Ausar Thompson does make it on all defensive first team. It looks like that will be it for awards, but we ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 67 games and losing only 15. After getting ourselves Jalen Green and Jabari Smith Jr., things have been looking very bright. Before we start simulating the playoffs, let's go ahead and take a look at our player stats. So our leading scorer was none other than Cade Cunningham, averaging 25.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 10.5 assists per game. Jalen Green was a perfect second scoring option we could have asked for. Bro was averaging 25 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. 16 and 12 from Jalen Duren, 15 from Jabari Smith Jr., 13 from Thompson, and 11 from Tijon Salon. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Charlotte Hornets, who have themselves LaMelo Ball, Brendan Miller, Con Kneppel, Dale, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and this will be their bench unit. It looks like they were a playing team. Who did they defeat to get here? Whoa, they defeated the New York Knicks. I'm not sure how the Knicks were a playing team because this starting lineup is still elite. And then they defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this is also a really good team, so I'm not sure how they defeated both of these teams to make it to the play-in tournament. That was a tough challenge in itself. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Cade Cunningham 36 and 10, 29 from Green, and 14 from Tijon Salon. Let's see if we can also go on to win game 2 to put us up 2-0, and yes, we can. Jalen Green dropping 23-21 from Cade Cunningham. Game 3 we also go on to win. Jalen Duren led the way here with 27 points, 26 from Green, and 25 from Jabari Smith Jr. And are we going to sweep the Charlotte Hornets? Yes, we are. In Game 4, Jalen Green led the way with 36, 33 from Jabari Smith, a 25-point double-double from our boy, Cade Cunningham, and we outscored them by nearly 50 points in Game 4. And now we are here in the second round where we're taking on the Orlando Magic. They have themselves Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Mitchell Robinson. Basically the same exact team, but they no longer have Wendell Carter Jr., so let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. We win here 114-106, Cade 24-21 from Jalen Green. Game number 2, we do go on to win as well, Cade 28, 26, and 18 from Duren. We win here 125-111. Let's see if we can go up 3-0, and yes, we do. We go on to win here in Game 3, 134-109. Jalen Green 28, 27, and 10 from Cade Cunningham. And is this going to be another sweep? No, it will not. They do go on to win Game 4, but we do gentlemen sweep them, eliminating them in Game 5. Jalen Green here had 27, 24, and 16 from Cade Cunningham. And just like that, we're back in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we're taking on the New York Knicks. Wait a second, I thought the Knicks got eliminated, so somehow they didn't. Okay, so the New York Knicks actually defeated the Charlotte Hornets. I thought it was the other way around, but the New York Knicks are here now in the conference finals. And if I'm not mistaken, we defeated this team last year in the Eastern Conference Finals as well. Let's take a look in the Western Conference Finals. So we have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. Let's see how things go here in our series. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Cade 28 and 13, a bunch of double-double here from our teammates. Game number 2, we do go on to lose 113-105. Game 2, we fall short. What about in Game 3? We do go on to win Game 3, thankfully, 107-95. Cade went off here with 35 points and 9 assists. Can we go up 3-1? No, we cannot. So it looks like the New York Knicks are giving us some trouble here. Karl Anthony Towns 32 and 13 on us, 25 from Cade. What I am going to now do is come up with the defensive coach game plan, and then we'll advance to Game 5. Alrighty, I have now come up with the defensive coach game plan. The series is tied at 2-2 apiece, so let's jump into Simcast here and see what happens. We will have home court advantage on our side, and so far the first half, we are destroying them, and it looks like we will be winning 127-92. Our defensive coach game plan worked. Jalen Green had 34, 29 from Cunningham, and let's see how their team did. We did hold Karl Anthony Towns of 5-16, 4 of 14 from OG Anunoby, and now all we gotta do is win one more game. The New York Knicks do have home court advantage, and it looks like they're going to defeat us here 134-119, which means it's going to a Game 7. It is now time for Game 7. Let's see if we can secure this win. We will be jumping into Simcast for the Detroit Pistons, where we have home court advantage. And so far, we do have the lead, and it looks like we will be winning this game 109-92. Let's go. So Cade Cunningham had himself a triple-double, 21 from Green, and a 20-point double-double from Duren. And that means that our team has made it all the way to the NBA Finals, where we're either going to have to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves or the San Antonio Spurs, and it will be Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. Wemby goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, Cade Cunningham Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging 27, 5, and 10. Let's take a look at the Spurs roster. They have themselves Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Tobias Harris, and Victor Wembanyama, and at 88 overall, De'Aaron Fox as their 6th man. I am talking a little bit quieter, but hopefully this is still good enough, and now let's see if we could defeat the San Antonio Spurs here in the NBA Finals. Game number 1, we do go on to win. Jalen Green 29, 27, and 10 from Cade Cunningham. Game number 2, we do go on to lose 118-105. And now the series is tied at 1-1 apiece, so let's see if we can go up 2-1, and yes, we can. Duren dropping 24 and 18 on Wemby, 22 and 11 from Cade Cunningham. Can we make this 3-1? Yes, we can. Okay, this is huge. We go on to win Game 4, 124-114. Cade Cunningham 32, 9, and 9. Jalen Duren with 21 and 19. All we now have to do is win one more game and then we're winning ourselves a championship. Let's jump into Simcast here. We do have home court advantage on our side and it looks like we're going to be winning this game a huge blowout. We go on to win 138-94. Cade Cunningham dropped 42 points, 13 assists, Jalen Duren with 25-17, Jalen Green with 23. And just like that, we go on to win the Detroit Pistons the championship with Cade Cunningham winning Finals MVP, averaging 30 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 10 assists on 50, 40, 70 shooting splits. Before I end out this video, I would like to show you guys a player stat, so let's go ahead and see how our team did here in the playoffs. We played a total of 21 games, and in those 21 games, our leading scorer was none other than Cade Cunningham, averaging 26, 5, and 10. 22.5 from Jalen Green, 17 from Duren, 15 from Jabari, and 11 from Ausar Thompson. And in the NBA Finals, we played a total of 5 games. The leading scorer, once again, was Cade Cunningham, basically averaging a 30-point double-double. We had Duren basically averaging a 20-point double-double, 19 from Green, and 13 from Jabari Smith Jr. That is all for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds, and don't forget to hype the video. All 3 buttons do support out the channel a ton, so go ahead and hit all 3 and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.